With the web development taking off rapidly in the industry, the demand for web developers is skyrocketing. In fact, web development has emerged as a promising field right now, attracting aspirants from all educational and professional backgrounds. If you are also interested in web development, the best way to upskill in this field is to work on web development projects. The more you practice and experiment with challenging web development projects, the better will be your real-world development skills. In this video, we will show you different kinds of web development projects that you can work on. So, without further ado, let's get started. Top web development projects ideas. 1. One-page layout. This project aims to recreate a pixel-perfect design and make one-page responsive layout. This is also a beginner-level project that allows freshers to test their newly acquired knowledge and skill level. You can use the Conquer template to build this project. This template comes loaded with a host of unique layouts. Also, it brings before you a series of challenges that web developers often face in real-world scenarios. As a result, you are pushed to experiment with new technologies like floats and flexbox to hone the implementation of CSS layout techniques. 2. Login authentication. This is a beginner-level project that is great for honing your JavaScript skills. In this project, you will design a website's login authentication bar where users enter their email ID, username and password to log into the site. Since almost every website now comes with a login authentication feature, learning this skill will come in handy in your future web projects and applications. 3. Product landing page. To develop a product landing page of a website, you must have sound knowledge of HTML and CSS. In this project, you will create columns and align the components of landing page within the columns. You will have to perform basic editing tasks like cropping and resizing images, using design templates to make the layout more appealing, and so on. 4. Jiffy with a unique API. This project involves developing a web application that uses search inputs and Jiffy API for presenting GIFs on a web page. This is an excellent beginner-level project wherein you use the Jiffy API to recreate the Jiffy website. We recommend you to use the Jiffy API since you need not request for any API key to use it. Another advantage of using the Jiffy API is that you don't require to worry about configuration while requesting data. 5. JavaScript quiz game. This web development project aims to create a JavaScript quiz game that can take multiple answers and show the correct results to users. While gaining JavaScript knowledge isn't tricky, applying that knowledge in real-world scenarios is usually challenging. However, you can experiment with your skills by working on a small JavaScript-based quiz game. While building this project, you will not only deal with complex logic, but you will also learn a lot about data management and DOM manipulation. Depending on your JavaScript skills and ability to handle complex logic, you can make the game as simple or complicated as you want it to be. 6. To-do list. You can now use JavaScript to build a web app that allows you to make to-do lists for routine tasks. For this project, you must be well versed with HTML and CSS. JavaScript is the best choice for a to-do project since it allows users to design interactive coding lists where you can add, delete, and also group items. 7. SEO-friendly website. Today, SEO is an integral part of website building. Without SEO, your website will not have the visibility to drive traffic from organic searches in SERPs, search engine result pages. While web developers are primarily concerned about the web functionality, they must have a basic idea of web design and SEO. In this project, you will take up the role of a digital marketer and gain in-depth knowledge of SEO. It will be helpful if you are aware of the technical SEO for this project. 8. JavaScript Drawing. This project is inspired by Infinite Rainbow on CodePen. This JavaScript-based project uses JavaScript as a drawing tool to bring to life HTML and CSS elements on a web browser. The best thing about this project is that you can take advantage of JavaScript's super cool drawing libraries like OCanvas, Canvas, Raphael, etc. By working on this project, you can learn how to use and implement JavaScript's drawing capabilities. This skill will come in handy for enhancing the appeal of static pages by adding graphical elements to them. 9. Search engine result page. In this project, you have to create a search engine result page that resembles Google's. While building this project, you must ensure that the web page can display at least 10 search results just like Google. Also, you must include the navigation arrow at the bottom of the web page so that users can switch to the next page. 10. Google homepage lookalike. This project requires you to build a web page that resembles Google's homepage. Keep in mind that you have to build a replica of Google homepage along with the Google logo, search icons, text box, Gmail, and image buttons. Basically, everything that you see on Google's homepage. This should be relatively easy, provided you're proficient in HTML and CSS. 11. Tribute page. Yes, tribute pages are a real thing. If you Google tribute page, you will find a comprehensive list of links showing you how to build tribute pages. Essentially, a tribute page is a web page dedicated in honor of someone you love, admire, or respect. It can be a person or a beloved pet. A tribute page is a perfect project for sharpening your HTML and CSS skills and knowledge. In this project, you will make a web page where you can write and dedicate a tribute to someone and publish the same. Apart from the write-up for the tribute, you need to add relevant images, links, etc. on the web page. 12. Survey form. In this project, you will have to design a full-fledged survey form that includes relevant questions like name, age, email, address, contact number, and other questions. Depending on the type of company and organization you are shaping the form, this project will put to the test your web page structuring skills. 13. Exit plugin. In this project, you will design an exit widget or plugin. When you visit a website or a web page, you must have seen the tiny pop-ups that show on the screen when you wish to exit the site or page. Companies usually use exit plugins to show exciting offers to keep a user on the page. This is precisely what you have to design. You can use your JavaScript and skills to design unique exit plugins wherein the content will be customized based on how long the user stays on a page. 14. Note log. The aim here is to design and build a note app that can take multiple entries per note. It should allow users to select a note when they launch the app. When they choose a note, a new entry will be automatically tagged along with the current date, time, and location. Users can also sort and filter their entries based on this metadata. 15. Social share buttons. Most websites, particularly content-based ones, built on WordPress have social share buttons that allow users to share content on various social media platforms. However, for static sites that aren't based on WordPress, adding social share buttons is a challenge. In this project, you will take up the challenge of writing a JavaScript code that will allow you to add a social share button to static sites. While you can do this by incorporating HTML elements or images in the site's template, using JavaScript allows you to add the share buttons dynamically. 16. Toast notifications. In this project, you will be required to design a toast notification tool. Using your JavaScript skills and knowledge, you have to create a functional toast notification tool that can respond to events on the page and notify the users as and when an event has completed successfully. 17. Ajax style login. The focus of this project is to build the front end of an Ajax style login site or page. In Ajax style login, the login page does not need to be reloaded to ensure whether or not you have to input the correct login details. You can also include error messages for situations where the input data is incorrect or not found. 18. Word counter. This is a nifty tool for people who write detailed documentation, blogs, essays, etc. online. A word counter tool allows you to see how many words you have written so far and how much more you need to write. This is a pretty simple project which requires you to build an application that can parse texts and show the number of words and characters contained in a write-up. 19. Countdown timer. For this project, you just need to create a simple web page that can update the time every second. With JavaScript as its foundation, you can make the page more appealing by including start, stop, and pause buttons on the page. 20. Model pop-ups. This project is very similar to Social Share Button project. Here, you need to create a JavaScript code that will be immediately triggered every time a user clicks a button on the page or loads the page. You will design model pop-ups to provide notifications, promotions, and email sign-ups to users. The pop-up should be such that it can be closed with a click as well. 21. Address book. In this project, you have to create an application that can search for a particular entries in your address book by filtering the attributes you specify. You can either use an API that generates placeholder data, or you can also structure the JSON JavaScript object notification. Conclusion: these are our top web development project ideas. All the projects mentioned in our list are relatively easy, and hence, they are excellent for freshers who have just started in the web development world.